Chapter 1. The Clearing. I never imagined a family camping trip could become the most terrifying night of my life. It was meant to be a simple getaway, a chance to unplug and make memories with my loved ones. Instead, it turned into a nightmare that clings to me, replaying in my head every time I close my eyes. I'm Jane, 63, and I was camping with my husband Carl, 77, our daughter Hannah, 40, her 6-year-old son Cade, and Hannah's boyfriend Thomas, 46, along with his 2 sons Nathan, 23, and Austin, 21. We'd chosen a secluded spot near Tennessee Colony, Texas, about 100 miles southeast of Dallas. The area was stunning. Acres of pine trees stretching tall, open fields dotted with wildflowers, and a small pond shimmering in the light. It felt like the perfect place to escape the grind of everyday life. We rolled in on Friday evening with our RV, a beat-up old thing we'd borrowed from Carl's brother, and set up a couple of tents for the boys. The plan was simple: fish, hike, roast marshmallows, and just be together. Saturday morning was everything I'd hoped for. After breakfast, scrambled eggs and bacon over the campfire, we headed to the pond. Cade squealed with delight as he reeled in a tiny fish, his face glowing with pride. "Look, Grandma, I'm a fisherman." Carl chuckled and helped him unhook it, while Thomas taught Nathan and Austin how to cast their lines. Hannah and I sat on a blanket, sipping coffee and watching the scene unfold. "This is what it's all about," she said, leaning her head on my shoulder. I nodded, my heart full. By afternoon, we hiked a trail winding through the woods. The air was thick with the scent of pine and earth. Cade collected pine cones, stuffing them into his backpack until it bulged. Nathan and Austin raced ahead, laughing and shoving each other. We were tired but happy when we got back. Thomas fired up the grill, and as the sun dipped low, we gathered around the fire pit. The crackle of burning wood mixed with our chatter. Cade sat in Hannah's lap, marshmallow smeared across his cheeks, while Carl told a ridiculous story about a bear stealing his fishing rod years ago. The kids giggled, and I felt completely at peace. That's when things started to change. Earlier that day, our RV had gotten stuck in mud near the campsite entrance. We'd pushed and pulled, but it wouldn't budge. Thomas was cursing under his breath when a man appeared, riding an orange tractor from the neighboring property. "Looks like you folks could use some help," he called out. We were relieved. "You're not wrong," Thomas said. The man introduced himself as Bill, early 30s, stocky, scruffy beard, faded baseball cap. He hooked a chain to his tractor and yanked the RV free in no time. "Wow, thank you," Carl said, shaking his hand. "That was above and beyond." Bill waved it off with a grin. "No trouble at all. Neighbors gotta look out for each other." He seemed genuine. Carl, always friendly, offered him a seat by the fire. "Stay for a beer?" Bill hesitated and then nodded. "Don't mind if I do." The conversation flowed easily at first. Bill talked about growing up in the area, how his family had owned land there for generations. He knew every trail, every fishing spot. Then he leaned forward slightly. "You ever stargaze out here? There's a clearing about a quarter mile into the woods. Stars look like they're close enough to touch." Nathan's eyes lit up. "That sounds awesome." Austin nodded. Cade perked up too. "Can we go, Mommy?" Hannah hesitated. "It's getting late, buddy." But Thomas shrugged. "Why not? It's not far, right?" Bill smiled. "Nah, quick walk, I'll show you." Something about it didn't sit right with me. "You sure it's safe?" I asked. Bill met my eyes, safe as can be. Everyone else seemed excited, so I let it go. That decision still haunts me. Thomas, Nathan, Austin, and little Cade grabbed flashlights and followed Bill into the woods. "We won't be long," Thomas said. "Be careful," I called after them. I watched until their lights disappeared. A knot formed in my stomach. Carl, Hannah, and I stayed by the fire. They talked, joked, but I couldn't shake the feeling. Eventually, I went to the RV to rest. The sound of crickets lulled me to sleep. Then, gunshots, loud, sharp, repeating. I jolted upright. What was that? Another shot, then another. I stumbled outside. Carl and Hannah were already there, staring into the woods. "Those were gunshots," Carl said. "Maybe hunters." Hannah shook her head. "Hunters don't shoot like that at night." Her voice broke. "Where's Cade?" Then silence, heavy, suffocating. Minutes passed, then movement. Bill stepped out of the woods, alone. "Where's my son?" Hannah shouted. "Where's Thomas, Nathan, Austin?" Bill didn't answer. His face was empty, cold. Then I saw it, a handgun. In his hand. "You shouldn't be here," he said flatly. "This land ain't yours." He raised the gun and fired. Carl dropped instantly. Hannah screamed. She ran for the RV. Bill followed. The door slammed open, 2 more shots. Then silence. I collapsed behind the fire pit, shaking. "I know you're out there," Bill called. "You can't hide forever." I crawled to a pile of folded chairs, pulled a tarp over myself, curled into a ball. His boots crunched closer. He searched everything. Tents ripped open. Coolers kicked aside. At one point, he stopped right next to me. I could see his boots. Inches from my face, I covered my mouth, barely breathing. Then, he walked away. I didn't move. Not for hours. When morning came, I finally crawled out. The campsite was silent, dead. Inside the RV, Carl and Hannah were gone. Blood pooled beneath them. I called 911. "My family they're all dead." Police arrived. They found Bill at his mother's house. He didn't resist. Later, I learned the truth. Thomas had bought land that once belonged to Bill's family. Seeing us there, happy, snapped something inside him. He killed them all, one by one. I survived, because I hid. But the guilt never left. Chapter 2. The Man at the Rest Stop. I was exhausted, driving for hours, my eyes burning. I pulled into a quiet rest stop. Empty. Too empty. I locked the doors and fell asleep. Then, bang! Someone was outside, a man, staring through the window, smiling. Then I smelled it, gasoline. He was pouring it around my RV. "I want to watch it burn," he said. I grabbed the extinguisher, unlocked the door, and blasted him in the face. Then I ran, barefoot, into the night. A passing truck saved me. By the time police arrived, everything I owned was gone. The man was never found. Chapter 3, The Bowl. Tom and I camped near Corpus Christi, a quiet beach, or so we thought. We met a couple, James and Michelle, friendly, warm. That night, we saw strangers near their RV. The next morning, they were gone. Later, we saw those same people, dragging something wrapped in a tarp. Police confirmed it days later. Bodies, buried in the sand. We never camped again. Some places aren't meant to be visited.